"Simon, son of Jonah, do you love me more than these?" When Jesus had risen from the dead, he asked Peter this question 3 times. Why did Jesus do this? The night before Jesus was arrested, Peter boasted that even if all the other disciples would abandon him, he would never leave him. But then Jesus knew Peter would not just abandon him, he would also deny him, with cursing and swearing. 3 times. To restore him, Peter has to come to terms with how he fell short of God's glory. The New Testament is written in Greek. There are many Greek terms used for love. The first time Jesus asked Peter, "Do you love me more than these?" he used the term agape for love. Agape is the highest form of love, the self-sacrificing kind of love, the kind that will lay down life for the sake of the beloved. In other words, he asked Peter, "Simon, son of Jonah, do you love me sacrificially more than all these other disciples? Do you love me to the point of death?" And Peter answered using another term for love in the Greek philos, a friendly kind of love. In other words, he answered Jesus, "Yes, Lord, you know that I am fond of you." When Jesus asked Peter a second time, he dropped the comparison. It doesn't matter if Peter doesn't love him more than all the other disciples. So he asked, "Simon, son of Jonah, do you love me sacrificially?" And again, Peter's answer conveys an awareness that wasn't there before. "Yes, Lord, you know I have affection for you." Then for the third and last time, Jesus lowered the standard. He asked, "Simon, son of Jonah, do you philos me? Are you fond of me?" And Peter, fully aware of the full extent of what agape love means, as he has just witnessed how Jesus suffered and laid down his life for his friends, knew that philos love was all he could ever claim at this point. He answered for the final time, "Lord, you know all things. You know that I am fond of you." And Jesus said to him, "Feed my sheep." Jesus met Peter at his level. In other words, Jesus was saying, "It's okay, Peter, if you don't love me the way I loved you. If you can't give your life for me the way I did for you, feed my sheep." And with these words, Jesus restored Peter back to ministry. On the night Jesus was arrested, Peter denied him 3 times with the smell of burning charcoal in the background. Jesus restored Peter by asking him 3 questions with the smell of burning charcoal in the background. Moving forward, the memory of his denial will no longer haunt him. It's been overshadowed by a far greater memory, that of Jesus meeting him at the level of his love, trusting him with his flock even when he fell short, loving him sacrificially to the point of torture and death, loving him in a way that Peter knew he could not reciprocate. And you know what happened? Peter became a pillar in the church, and he winds up loving Jesus sacrificially to the point of death. When Peter boasted of his love for the Lord mere hours after, he denied and abandoned him. When Peter saw just how far his love fell short because he experienced the self-sacrificial love of Jesus for him, he winds up loving the Lord to the point that he would be crucified upside down years later. We love because he first loved us. Bask in his love for you. It's a love that never runs dry, never fails, through all seasons of life. It's only when you are loved unconditionally that way will you be able to love him and others.